Hey guys, it's Brandon here. Coming to you today to show y'all what I call my raid bag. And raid bag's kind of a odd term for this, I guess, for lack of better terms. But what this is, guys, this is the bag that I would grab if I was going out on a scout or if I was going out on a trip to gather supplies or intel or something like that. For the area where I was. And there's several components to the bag. I want to talk about them. And there's one I'm going to break off into its own video because it contains its own redundancies and stuff. And I want to explain those to you separately. And I'm going to show it to you first. The one that'll have its own part to the video is this right here. Now what this is, guys, any of y'all who have ever watched or studied any mountain man type of living or mountain man type of frontiersman items or frontiersman gear, one thing that you always heard them talk about was a possibles bag. Well, this is my version of a modern possibles bag, which I'm going to go over with you. I'm going to show you in a separate video I'll make right after this one. We'll post them both up at the same time, but I'm going to go over what's in that kit with you and show you what this one has to offer within itself. A lot of good items and information. This would be something good if you're wanting to start a bug out bag or you're wanting to start building your own bug out bag. I think this would be a good place to start in building a possibles bag because it definitely meets a lot of the key elements that you're going to need in your bug out bag system. So we're going to remove that and set it aside. And that just simply goes on the belt. Now I want to start first with the stuff on the belt. It needs no introduction. Ontario SP10 Marine Raider as the primary knife on the belt. I have a multi-tool down here. This particular multi-tool is the Gerber, if I can get it to do it, Flick. And just an excellent multi-tool all the way around. I've been very pleased with it. I got this, I think is a birthday. No, it wasn't a birthday. Maybe a Valentine's Day gift. Yeah, I think that's about right. A couple years ago. It's been an absolutely phenomenal multi-tool. I love it. A lot of screwdrivers, a couple of sizes of each type of screwdriver on it. Just very, very helpful. It's got the case. Case is well made, good case. The next thing I want to go into is I want to start at the top of the bag, and I want to show one of the main tools that's on the bag. Now, the bag itself is a field line bag that's actually made for turkey hunting, and I believe it came from Walmart. Which, I don't care what kind of bag you use, guys. As long as it fulfills and meets your needs that you expect out of it, then that's all that matters. But the bag that I have is this field line. It's bought at Walmart. In this top section right here, you'll see there's a snap end here and a snap end here. What these are used for are turkey call slate strikers. To put the strikers in there. I have improvised, and I actually have a small crowbar that goes in there. A small improvised crowbar. Y'all have heard me talk about my friend Jordan Duncan from Flatwoods Forge. He made the file forge knife that I have. Jordan also, at the same time that he made that knife, made this for me as well. And I'll tell you what, guys, I have used the absolute daylights out of this thing. It is awesome for digging ginseng. It is awesome for using as just a general digging implement. We used it the very first day I got it as a prying implement to pry sewer grate open with it. Just an excellent implement, and I highly recommend if y'all are at all interested in getting a crowbar done. Jordan has some excellent deals on that, and he can definitely make you a real good deal on getting that done. I'll annotate a link to his website down below in the description, and leave that on there for you so you can go check him out. Moving on. Down here, you see we have the little pocket on the front. This is a pocket I would use, guys, for like a Write in the Rain tablet and pen. I don't have one in there currently. I plan on getting one to go in there. I've just not got around to it. We're going to flip that up. Now, inside of here, guys, is the internal part of this bag that is dedicated to fire building. And I want to show that off to you guys. This is dedicated. Now, we have here down here several lighters. You'll see here I probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lighters in that little pack right there. The reason being for that, guys, is I got to thinking about, lighters. A lot of these lighters I paid absolutely nothing for. I got them free from finding them at work where people had left them out in our patio. Matter of fact, I would say probably all of those came from that exact place. I went and I picked them up, and I've used them. I've put them in my bag. Number one, you can use them to build a fire if you need to. Number two, I feel like in a situation where it's a no rule of law or a Tatanawaki type deal, that those would come in good as a trade item to have. You know, you trade them a lighter or something for whatever you need. The other thing I have here, guys, is some tinder bark. And this is just sections that are cut off one of those big fire logs that you buy. But they work really good for starting a fire. If you just break a piece off and you set it on fire, just one little piece, you can almost start any type of fire with if you can get a flame on that piece of bark right there. So we'll show that to you. I'm going to close that up. Zip it. You see my garden twine laying down there. In this box, I have fishing flies, fishing hooks. I have a little float. I have a fishing line down in the bottom wrapped in some cardboard. Several different lures in there. And I have some sheetrock screws. Now, those sheetrock screws, guys, come in handy for a lot of things, especially if you're out and you have to build a shelter. Sheetrock screws can be used to add stability and permanency to a shelter that if you think you're going to have to stay there for a while. It's a resource that you can have, take up no space, very light. In the second tin, you see here, I have a little repair kit. I have sewing thread. I have safety pins. I have a sailor's needle down in there. I've got a couple of push pins down in there that we can use. I've got an extra lanyard in here as well. The other thing I have is a Coke bottle cap. You say, what in the world would you have a Coke bottle cap for? Well, the Coke bottle cap is actually there to serve the purpose of a thimble. I didn't have a thimble to put in there to use, so I used the Coke bottle cap to serve that same purpose. So that in itself, guys, is just one section of the raid bag. And I keep calling it a raid bag, guys. You can call it whatever you want. It's just what I call it. Let's open the big compartment here and look in here. And this video is probably going to be a little bit lengthy, guys. I apologize. Work gloves. Garden twine. Used for your cordage needs. Now here's one that I added just recently. Well, we don't want the Sharpie. Stakes. Plastic tent stakes. And I should have a total of 6. I've lost one somewhere. It's okay, we'll find it later. That's for a quick build it and go shelter. Now this right here, guys, is in here, and you'll say, well, you already showed us a knife. And yes, I did, but this is not in here for its ability as a knife. This is in here because this is a very dirt cheap knife that I'm pretty sure was given to me at some point. But I found this, I thought, you know what that would make an excellent, it would make an excellent spear. It's flat, it's full tang, it's got the cordage wrapped around it already to make the spear with that cordage. We can reclaim it. You've got that flat, sharp point, lash that into a pole, and guys, you got a spear. That's the reason we pulled that out. That's the reason we put that in there for that purpose. Specifically. Lay that aside. I have some tools in here. The first two things I want to show. I have a pencil. And I have a Sharpie marker. We have a spare lighter in there. And I think that's in there even by accident. Let's see what else we've got. I have a small multi-tool for very minute tasks. I wear glasses part of the time. This has a screwdriver on it that can be used to adjust glass, the glasses lens, or the screws in the glasses frame. So that's the reason we keep that in there. It's not a very good one. It's a cheap one. I do have a small folding pocket knife in here. I have a very small Phillips head screwdriver in here. This actually serves more purposes than just a screwdriver, guys. I have that because of the end of it. You could use that like an awl. You could use it, you know, in a worst case scenario, guys, you could use this as a weapon if you had to. If you held that in your hand and you had to punch with it, it'd be better than having nothing at all. So we have that in there. Another piece of gear that I have that I find very useful and I end up going to and using all the time is I have a pair of great neck wire pliers. And these are just slip adjustable wire pliers. Or like we call them here in the country, pliers. So we're going to put them all back, put the pliers back in there. There's my other tent stake. Put the tent stakes back in the bottom. Pencil Sharpie screwdriver, check. We'll throw that lighter back in there. Twine, the knife, little multi-tool, little knife, and gloves. Now, one thing that compartment is missing that is going to go in there, guys, is a couple of 55-gallon drum liners. I also have a Stearns poncho that I'm going to try to incorporate into that pocket that could be used as a shelter in a needs-to type situation. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to lay you down. There we go. And we're zipped. So I'm going to go around to this side. Now, some of these are redundancy, guys, and I'm not going to take everything out of them, but I do want to show you what's in them. This particular pocket, shotgun shells. Bird shot, 2 3/4, 7.5 shot, 70 millimeter bird shot shotgun shells. And in this pocket down here, you will find more of the same. In this pocket, okay, we have food items, which I don't keep a lot of food items in here at any given point in time, guys, but there are some things I do keep on hand most all the time. Mainly being the broth packets out of ramen noodles. We have stored those up, and we have, my little boy doesn't like the broth and the noodles, so he eats the noodles without the broth with just butter and salt, and doesn't like the flavoring, so he's left it in there. The other thing I carry in here, guys, and I think this would be a good booster. It would also be good as a trade commodity if something happened. So I threw this in here as well, guys. Bottle of 5 Hour Energy pink lemonade flavored. I'm planning on getting 2 or 3 more of these to keep in this bag for that type of reason. When you're out on a patrol or something like that and you need that extra boost of energy to give that to you. Now let's scoot it around. Whoop, stump's falling. I have a little makeshift stump table, and it just about went kaput on me right there. We'll start in this little end down here. Now, there's a lot of shotgun shells in there, but there's one thing that I keep tucked down in there that I'll show to you as well. This is the Tops Knives Spec Ops rape whistle. Yes, a Spec Ops rape whistle. This thing is very loud. It will make a very loud, shrill noise. And it needs to. It can be heard a long way off. Down here in this pack, more shotgun shells, except these are the big boys. That is a 3-inch turkey magnum. We also have 3-inch turkey mag, 2 3/4 slugs. There's an assortment of heavyweight loads in that bag right there. And in this bag, we have more ammo of the 22 caliber variety. I have 3 boxes, 150 rounds of these 22 Lightnings. These are actually pretty good cartridges that are made by Federal. The other thing I have is this, guys. 22 caliber shot shells. Anybody's not familiar with these are great little shells, little rounds. They look like that. It's literally just a little shotgun round that goes in a 22, guys. And you can shoot it out. It's got all kinds of little pellets in it. Pepper, whatever you're shooting at. I'll tell you what I use them for around these parts, guys, is I use them for frog gigging. And they work really well for that. But, guys, that's it pretty much on the raid bag. I know there's several things that I need to add. I need to add a compass. I need to add some kind of a container to it, which I intend on working on that, coming up with the appropriate canteen cup or bottle that would go with this. I've just had a hard time deciding on what it needs and what I need to add to it. I also need to get the shelter kit and everything added in. But that is the start on what I've got, guys, and I just wanted to share that with you in the form of that. I really want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching, and I definitely look forward to reading your comments and seeing what your suggestions or ideas are about what you think I need to add to it, or what you think is a unnecessary redundancy in it that we could probably do without. I do look forward to hearing your comments and seeing what you guys think. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great day.